All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the second annual Ideas Research Expo. Today, we are going to be going over some of the various research opportunities that are available to our members that are online that are able to do from the comfort of their home. And some of them do include in-person opportunities as well. So our schedule for today is we are going to have Dr. Austin talk about the hours program. Myself, Abby, and Susan are going to be talking about the SOLUR program. I will also be talking about the genomics research experience that is available for both undergrads and graduates. Abby will be talking about the Barrett Fellows program. And then if I get the video, we will be presenting the CHElab, which is part of the anthropology and forensics programs at ASU. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and let Dr. Austin share her screen and talk about the hours program.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. But my name is Dr. Austin. I am the faculty advisor for Ideas. I have been with our lovely online students, now including on-campus students as well, way back when, about 7 or 8 years ago. So I've been with the starting members since the creation of Ideas. So I'm always excited to see new members and how the organization has evolved in the many years that I've been with this particular student org. But I wanted to share the Hours program, which is a program that is offered through the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So if you don't know how that works, within ASU, the ASU is really big, right? If you haven't been on campus, you'll see that if you ever come for summer labs or research or whatever, it's a very large ecosystem. We have Tempe campus, West, downtown, Mesa, what have you. And each of your degree programs actually belong to a college, which is like a fraction of ASU. So the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, for instance, if you're a biological sciences major, biochemistry, anthropology, global health, political science. We have, those major programs that are part of ASU. And the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is about 40% of the entire ASU population. So that's who I work for the Dean's Office for the college. And we decided to partner with ASU Online Ed Plus to create this research program to serve online students that we call the Hours program. And the original, and this kind of goes back in time, the original vice president of Ideas, who is now a PhD student over at UC, in the UC system. She's fantastic. So Nikki came up with this name actually, and she said it would be fantastic if ASU had something like this to offer to online students. So I listened to her advice, and that's how the Hours program got created in the first place. And the logo of this light bulb, if you know what the Ideas logo is like, back in time, another officer also thought it would be clever to kind of join Ideas with the Hours in a way in terms of the logo. So there is some connection there as well. So what is the Hours program? So the Hours program serves ASU online students enrolled in degree programs across the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. However, a lot of the faculty members who participate in the Hours program do work with students that are ASU online students that don't necessarily belong in the college. So, although this is the premise of the program, we do also see a lot of other students participate in the experiences as well. But this is really dependent upon whether the faculty can accommodate the number of seats that they have allocated for their experience in the semester. So what kind of experiences do the Hours program offer? So there are many different types of experiences, and this is going to be the Hours program website. So it's hours.thecollege.asu.edu. If you go to the Students tab, and there's going to be posted experiences for the upcoming semester. And for the summer and the fall, I haven't haven't gotten there yet because I just posted grades yesterday. And this is, the hours program, I manage the entire operations by myself. So it's just a lot, but I have just posted my grades. So I'm going to be now on the track to prepare for the summer and also for the fall of 2025. But as I get new experiences, I post them. So check the website regularly. You can see the FAQs. And what you will see when you go there is that there's going to be different tiles of different experiences that you can click on. Each experience is very unique. So that's what the faculty member, my colleagues have told me who they're looking for, who they would like to serve, how should the students apply, how many they're looking to work with this semester, blah, 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 blah. So there is no, blanket, this is how we do it kind of thing. Each experience is unique because if you think about it, every discipline is unique. Just one thing to note, if you are gung-ho about going into the science field, obviously you want to work with a faculty member that, does something remotely related to what you're interested in or just in a scientific discipline in general. However, if you're a pre-health student, you do not have to limit yourself to just do research within the scientific discipline. So there, med schools are often, they do more stats kind of work when they do research, unless it's an MD, PhD or a DO PhD program, right? So, any experience that fits your interest in the social sciences or in the humanities that we offer through the hours program. If you're a pre-health student, that's just one advice I have. Don't limit yourself to just science related research kind of experience. Look broadly and really look into those research experiences that help you to connect with your community, connect with data, whatever, because that is actually the type of research that medical students do when they go to medical school. So just think about that. A lot of times students don't think like that. So I just wanted to give you that kind of advice. So what other opportunities are offered? So this is specific to the students who are pursuing a degree out of the college, and that is because the scholarships are funded and the donor generally gives money to give to students. So that's why it can't serve ASU Online broader, and it has to be students out of the college, and that is because there's donor regulations on how scholarship funds that are donated can be used for students. So this is specific to the students who are within the college, but a lot of you are. So if you are, then please apply for the scholarship. It could be a major, you could be majoring, you could also be minoring in a program that is offered to the college. It could be either way. So, just apply. And then we also have, and in the past, and we post these on the YouTube for the Hours Program website as well. And it's going to be like faculty panel sessions, or we've even had student-oriented workshops in the past. I've been a little bit busy in the last year teaching large courses, so I haven't really promoted these, but we've done that throughout the year in the past. I might bring them back in the summer. You all might also have more time to do it. So look out for those, and we generally share out within the ideas community, or I share it by emailing you from the dean's office. So if you get an email from me with my name on the subject line, just click on it. It's usually something related to student engagement. And then we also host an annual undergraduate research symposium, which is generally held in May every year. So this is open to all online students, or even like a hybrid of online on-campus research groups. And this is not specific to just the college or anything. We just host it, but it's open to all online students across the university who are doing research, whether that is at ASU or whether that is with an external collaborator. So those are some of the things that we help to organize. So that is it for the hours program. Any questions from anybody?
I had put it in the chat, but for the scholarship that you were saying, is that like if you apply and qualify, you would be granted the scholarship, or is it just kind of like you apply and they pick some candidates to get
Right.
the
So it's a scholarship. So that's a good question. It is open to the students who are pursuing a degree program within the college, and you must be participating in undergraduate research in the upcoming semester. So the call for the scholarship, let's imagine it goes out for the spring. That means we're trying to get students to award scholarships in the summer, so on and so forth. So that's how it works. The student has to be participating in research because it is through the hours program, which is about research. In addition to that, you could be half-time. So usually scholarships, you have to be a full-time student, but the hours scholarship, you just have to be half-time. And you also have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA, which is pretty standard across most scholarships that we offer here at ASU.
So if you apply and you meet all those criteria, you'd probably be granted the scholarship.
Yes,
Okay.
right, exactly. It is somewhat competitive in certain semesters, like fall is pretty competitive because there's just more people applying in the fall. I'm not sure why. But if you apply, you have a good chance of getting awarded the scholarship.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Austin, for that. We love the hours program here at Ideas, and I think it offers so much more research opportunities to our members and online students as well. But if you do have any other questions that all of a sudden pop up after our Research Expo is done, please email Dr. Austin. Her email is also on the Ideas website as well, or you can look it up on your My ASU as well. And we'll post all that as well if needed.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonina. And
You're
yeah,
welcome.
like for instance, like the ACE Scholars Program, a lot of you know about that. ACE was one that we helped to kickstart by providing some grant funding to the faculty to kickstart that. The CHElab that Jonina was talking about, we've also partnered with them. And then I think Jonina is going to talk about the SOLUR program, which has also received funding from the Hours program so that they can serve online students better. So the hours program is pretty wide and broad because it's, kind of overseeing all the different units that are part of our ecosystem. But a lot of you are probably participating in something that receives some funding from the hours program somewhere down the road. So it's great to see the impact. And we definitely want more students to gain that experience so that you have that under your belt.
There are no other questions. I am going to reshare my screen and we are going to talk about the SOLUR program, myself, Abby, and Susan. So let me get that set up. Share. We are going to share more. All right. So the SOLUR program. So as Dr. Austin said, this is also a product of the Hours program. SOLUR stands for School of Life Sciences Undergraduate Research Program. And I pulled a little quote from Dr. Holchek is the program is designed to inspire and transform life science students by providing an initiative or innovative learning experience that prepares them to thrive in a dynamic and demanding world. So the goal of the SOLUR program is to help you begin your research journey here at ASU, whether you have any research experience or very little. A lot of the people who join SOLUR tend to start from the beginning, myself included. Abby Matthews here, he's also I've been in the SOLUR program. Susan, we have a lot of members in Ideas who have started with SOLUR and then branched out to other research programs offered here at ASU. There are 4 different levels within the SOLUR program. So you would start out as the apprentice level, which is Bio 189. And that's the beginner level for students who have little to no research experience. Typically, this level is offered to anybody who has no idea where they want to go with their research. They have a few things that they are passionate about, like a few concepts. This is where you'll send over a research proposal to Dr. Holchek. You will apply to be or register to be in Bio 189. And then that class is set up to help you develop your research concept, figure out where you want to go with it, and just basically get you started on your research journey at ASU. Preferably, some students who do take her Bio 340 class will continue with the bonus project that we'll talk about a little bit later in this explanation about SOLUR. But Susan, I'm going to have you talk about researcher since you know a good amount about that.
Okay. So researcher is generally for a student that's done 1 to 2 semesters as an apprentice. And you're expected to as well be able to apply and hopefully present your research, such as at SOL's or ours symposium in the spring and fall. Oh, sorry, it's BioSci in the fall. And you should have a little bit more lab experience as well.
Mm-hmm. And this would be this would be Bio 289, which would be technically after you complete apprentice, you would go into Bio 289. And then we have the next 2 levels, which are scholar and fellow. These ones are the upper division courses, technically 389 and 489. Abby is currently a SOLUR scholar with the SOLUR program. So Abby, if you want to kind of describe what that all entails, that level entails.
Yes. So the scholar and fellow position are mid-level and highest level positions. They do require a bit more when you're filling out your applications. You have to have a more detailed research proposal because by the time you reach these levels, they expect you to be really developed in your research. They do come with stipends. I don't know what the fellow stipend is, and I'm not going to go into what the stipend for scholar currently is because I don't know if they will change. But that is a nice little bonus to have. So yeah, sorry, I froze. So yeah, the scholar and fellow position, like I said, they're the higher positions. Usually you would have already been an apprentice and a researcher. And the scholar and fellow is a little bit more demanding. So they expect higher related research. If you're doing any type of your assignments in SOLUR, they expect them to be a little bit more developed and scientifically gauged compared to the apprentice and researcher levels. Just really, they expect higher of you in these positions.
Mm-hmm. And over time, as you do each level, you develop those skills because they will, Dr. Holchek and the other instructor, if it's Kaylin or who they ever have helping out, will help you gain those skills by providing feedback. It's a weekly seminar class. So basically you watch different seminars that happen. They have you do different projects throughout the class, especially if there is a symposium. I know this year or this semester, they're getting ready for the Souls Symposium that happens in April. So the students currently enrolled in that class will be getting their research done to present an abstract that has to be submitted and then to present a poster based on the current research that they're doing right now in class. And that's typical for every semester. It's just aimed a little bit differently at each level and there's different requirements, but it basically helps you refine and further your research since you are online rather than in person. Additionally, this year, starting in fall, we added on a program for the 4+1 students, which is the Sol+R program. With the help of ideas, we wrote a grant proposal to get funding for that program for this year. As of right now, I know Dr. Holchek is in the process of hoping to continue that for the 4+1 students down the line. But basically it allowed graduate students to work on specific research and come to campus to perform an experiment based on their research. So last semester, I was able to design and conduct an experiment based on what I'm doing is studying how processed sugars in infant formula affect gut microbiome. Matthew, in a few weeks, will actually be doing the same for his research that he'll be discussing tomorrow as well. So he'll be there from March 17th through 21st, working on the experiment he has designed thanks to the SOL+R program. So we are trying to really expand, or Dr. Holchuk's really trying to expand the program to help for those graduate online students who are in the capstone or the applied project route that are online students. Speaking of going to campus, if you are enrolled in SOLUR and you are online student, there is a in-person component that you can participate in. It is called the SOLUR Immersion. It is a in-person 1-week lab immersion teaching students various lab techniques while also completing a project. So throughout the week, you're going to learn various lab techniques that over time will gain results by the end of the week. So this week, they're focusing on different lab cell techniques. So you'll be learning cellular imaging, doing plating, doing flow cytometry, learning just various techniques. Last semester, they focused on bacteria growth and identifying different pathogens of bacteria. They did, one of the immersions was honey, so they studied honeybees. So each semester it changes and it's a different topic. We do have people that often come back. We call them the repeat offenders because they like, once you go to one immersion, you want to go to as many as you can until you graduate. It's really fun, but you get to learn techniques that you would not otherwise be able to learn as an online student. And it actually helps put the concepts that you learned from classes, and it actually helps you understand them because you're now doing hands-on with that. And right now it is only currently offered in the fall and spring semesters. It typically happens the first full week of session B. So since session B starts March 17th, this semester, it'll be from the 17th to the 21st. And they typically do a presentation at the end of the week. So keep an eye out for that because we'll share the Zoom link so you can watch what they did throughout the week at immersion. It is for online students who are enrolled in SOLUR who want to gain wet lab experience. So you can add this to your CV, saying that you've learned these types of techniques and that you have beginner level knowledge. And if you continue going to immersions after your first immersion, you can then up your experience level. And also space is limited due to the lab being so small. There's typically about 16 to 18 spots. So once you are enrolled in SOLUR, there's an interest form that goes out about immersion, and it's a first come, first serve type thing. But I definitely suggest if you do enroll in SOLUR, definitely go to at least one immersion because you get to learn so many techniques that you would never get to learn within being an online student, because the virtual simulations that we do are it's very, very different. And then lastly, if you're interested in SOLUR, visit the SOLUR website on ASU. One thing that Dr. Holchuk does prefer is that you've already taken Bio 340 with her, preferably before you enroll in the semester that you want to start SOLUR. A lot of students that take Bio 340 often continue with the research that they did on the bonus research project that she offers for her class. It's an extra credit project where you learn how to basically do a research project in 7.5 weeks. You build a basically research poster by doing different drafts and learning how to understanding the research process. And then you also just prepare a research proposal or use research from her class. And then you'll be granted the permission to enroll in SOLUR. Any questions on SOLUR as of right now? Abby, Susan, do you guys want to add anything as well?
I think you covered it.
Same. I would just reiterate that if you do SOLUR and you have the opportunity to go to immersion, I would definitely go.
Yes. Go. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Jeanette.
I always have questions.
I know.
I think you had said something about if we're in SOLUR, that there might be some kind of reimbursement for travel costs for immersion.
Yes, they just started doing that uh in fall where they will offer students travel grants and it's offered during the class. So I'm not exactly sure like how much it is per class because they change it because it happened after I went into the Sol Plus R program. But you apply for it, and then if you're granted it, basically you'll be able to be reimbursed for any of the travel that you do coming for immersion. So I'm not exactly sure how much it typically is, but it's different. And then they send out the applications in the class. So if you're planning to enroll in SOLUR in the fall, you will get what you'll get the information about the travel grants, and they typically have a deadline of when you need to fill that out by. From what I've understood is that I think for last semester, anybody who filled it out got the travel grant that was coming to immersion. So if you are coming to immersion, it looked like they got the grant, but it just all depends on how many people apply.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brienne.
Did you say, was it only immersion that's only in the fall and spring, or is it all of SOLUR that's only involved for the
So SOLUR is a fall and spring semester course. They do not have a summer course for it, and that goes with immersion as well. When SOLUR is offered in the fall and the spring, the immersion is offered at the same time. So it's part of your SOLUR class. So like during the SOLUR class, that's the C session, they'll have like specific presentations. If you're intending immersion, you would do that like presentation assignment during immersion. But they do send out interest forms like the first week of immersion or of SOLUR who's interested in immersion, stuff like that. And then basically last year they did have a summer one, but this year there will not be a summer immersion. So it's kind of just hit or miss whether it's offered in the summer. If not, it is definitely always offered in fall and spring, and it is a C session course. So it'll be the whole 15 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Any other questions on SOLUR? If not, you can always message myself, Abby, Susan, Dr. Holchek, Sarah. There's a bunch of us in ideas who have done SOLUR. So if you have any questions on it, please feel free to email us or message us. Matthew's another one who's done SOLUR. I guess I just pop into the Discord or send an email and we will be happy to answer any more questions about SOLUR. All right, so next we're going to go on to the Genomics Research Experience, which is part of the Hours program. You can actually find it on the Hours website. I participated in this last fall. It is another option of research for those of you who are unable to enroll in either SOLUR, participate in other research that you're looking for. This one is a lot of coding. So if you're interested in learning coding or doing research that is basically genomics related, this is a great experience for you guys. Basically, it's research-based course that allows you to apply coding skills to analyze various research projects. When I was in it in the fall, we did a placenta genomics research. So basically, we built a database to help house and analyze any type of research that looked into placenta development. In 2023, they worked on sex chromosomes and cancer, which was presented at the Soul Symposium and the Hour Symposium last year. And they also are in the process of getting that manuscript that they worked on published. Same with the placenta genomics research. They are currently in the works of getting that publication done. But basically, it's a 7.5-week course where students will work together as a group, and you are assigned specific things as part of your grade to help create the project and research that Dr. Wilson and Dr. Plaisir want to work on for the year. So basically we also had weekly lab meetings, which were optional to go to if you were unable to make it. They recorded it. You had specific assignments, like weekly we had to fill out a spreadsheet where we went in, analyzed all the primary literature that they found based on placenta genomics, and figured out if it was relevant to our research, if it wasn't relevant to our research, and filled out all the tiny details of information. We also created a manuscript where all the students analyzed the data that they looked at through this placenta genomics spreadsheet. And we basically created manuscripts to where they could pull from certain ones based off what each student did to create the overall publication that they are going to work with. So basically it's a different project each year. We did use R coding, so you learn how to use R. If you've never used R before, that's totally fine. It is really simple to use. Once you get to understanding how to use it, it's really simple to use, and I actually use it to help with some of my current research as well. One thing is, as prereq, you must take Bio 439 or 539, Computing for Research, which actually teaches you how to code using Linux and Unix coding. So you use it for your terminal on your laptop, and you'll actually be accessing the ASU Seoul supercomputer that they have data on there that will teach you specific Linux commands in order to understand how to code within Linux, to how to read specific data. So that way, when you hit the Genomics Research Experience course, you can actually code using the Linux or Unix commands into R. It's so interesting. It is a little tough because learning coding is like learning a whole new language, but I found that it's very useful and very helpful to understand how to do coding because it can add another depth to your research or to whatever research experience you're looking for. Being able to read genomics programs, going into the genomics databases like the one that's on the NIH or anything like that can help boost not only your concepts of learning throughout your degree, but just give you an additional experience in different types of research. So basically you did the prerequisite is this, and it's offered. The Bio 439 and 539 is typically offered all year. Summer, I've seen it in summer and I've seen it in fall. I've not seen it in spring yet, but the Genomics Research Experience is currently only available in the fall, and it's fall session B course. So you can take 439, 539 in session A, and then you move into the Genomics Research Experience in session B. You do, however, in order to enroll in 498 or 598, you must request permission from Dr. Wilson. It is, if you look on the hours website, they do have the Genomics Research Experience for fall. You just need to message her, let her know that you're in computing for research and that you're interested in joining for fall session B. She'll give you permission. You just let your advisor know. Your advisor will unlock the course for you and you can register for the fall. Once again, this experience is offered to undergraduates and graduates. I did this as part of my master's degree that I'm currently earning. You can use it as part of your crossover classes if you want to. If you're in the 4+1 program, you can use it as research for the research credits in your undergrad, or you can use it solely for your master's program. Any questions on the Genomics Research Experience? Okay. If not, if you do have any other questions on it, please feel free to message me. I can kind of show some of the stuff that we did in the previous courses over email, or we can meet via Zoom again. But with that, I'm going to stop my sharing and we're going to go ahead and give it over to Abby, who's going to talk about the Barrett Fellows program.
I go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Okay, so before I go over the main concept of Barrett Fellows, I'm going to go over what I'm currently working on with my research mentor from Barrett Fellows. This is open to any and all students who are interested in participating in this research. Usually Barrett Fellows is closed to only Barrett members, but my research mentor is looking for researchers, and I told him about what we were doing and ideas, and he was more than happy for me to share what we're doing and inquire in any people interested in joining. The project is mammal virus data for risk modeling. And my principal investigator is Professor Beckett Sterner. He is part of the Biodiversity and Knowledge Center. And here is his contact email. You will find it at the end as well. So with this project, as a researcher, you would be assigned 7 research papers a week, and you would be extracting data into a master spreadsheet that we have created. It's very, it's going to sound redundant, but it's actually pretty, I guess you could say, intuitive, and it allows you to build your critical reading and analysis skills. We meet weekly on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Arizona time to review what we found in our papers and ask questions. Sometimes we do come across papers where it sounds like it's a mammal virus study and it's actually not, and we end up kicking those papers out. But it is very active, and it does allow you to build those skills that I mentioned before. And a nice thing about this research is it's fully remote. You do not have to do anything extra besides have your laptop, your favorite coffee or drink, and some time. So the end goal of this research is to gather mammal virus data from the consensus report that we create and sort the data further. And then we're also planning to take this data and create a mammal virus risk modeling database. So we are, I think we're about like 200 or 300 papers out from completing our extraction. And then what we're going to do is re-go through these papers, pull out pertinent information about detection of viruses and the host species they're associated with. And we're looking to develop one-to-one relationship mapping and things like that. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to contact me or Dr. Sterner. I've dropped both of our emails here at the end. I'm happy to answer any questions. I've been with Dr. Sterner since fall of last year, so I've gotten to know him pretty well. And the research itself is really relaxed. So if you're really new to research and you're looking to get your feet wet, this is a great project to start with, especially since it's building your critical analysis and reading skills, which a lot of people tend to lack. And it's a great way to get that started so that way you can start picking apart your own papers when it comes to your specific research. So I'm going to now switch gears towards the Barrett Fellows program as a whole. Barrett Fellows is a program in the Barrett College, Honors College, and you do have to apply for it. They have over 140 projects that you can look at, pick from, and they sort them based on discipline. So that way you're not sitting there sifting through 140 different projects. You can actually click on like biological sciences or psychology or art. And then you would pick 5 of the top projects that interest you and rank them. And then once you submit your application, the people who oversee Barrett Fellows will go through, they'll match you to a professor or a set project based on your skills and indications of ranking. And then once matched, the professor reaches out to you and the research begins. And you would also have to enroll in an honors 498 course. That's a really, really mundane course. You only have 5 projects to complete for it. Really simple. If you have any questions about doing either Barrett Fellows in general, or even with this research, since it's open to any students who are interested, please let me know.
I did see that Brienne raised her hand. right after you finish talking about yours. So Brand, if you have a question.
Yeah,
Go
was the research you're working on, are you just looking for people to assist in the research, or is it like a course credit at all?
You can enroll in course credit for this. You would
Okay.
enroll in Bio 495, and that's something that's really simple to do. The only thing you have to do is talk to Professor Sterner about it, and you would submit an application via your academic advisor, and Mr. Sterner would sign off on it, and then you would be enrolled.
Okay, so like it could be for just like a 7.5 term or whatever. Or is it like during the summer too for the research, or is it purely like a specific semester?
It depends on if he wants to offer it in the summer. This is one of those classes where I don't want to say it's a flexible type of assignment, but it is. So, how do I want to word this? Basically, it depends on if he's going to take summer break. If he takes summer break, then he probably won't do it in the summer. But I know there was a couple students who did it in the fall. I'm doing it this semester. And I know he wanted to work over winter break, and that was totally up to students if they wanted to do that. That part was not credited.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right. So we do have the video from the CHElab. So we will go ahead and be sharing that. And then after that, we will go ahead and finish the research opportunity presentation. And then we will, if anybody wants to stay and do that, we do have some types of different research workshops. If not, the research workshops will also be on our YouTube page. So let me get the CHElab, or oh my gosh, yeah, that ready to go. Oh, hold on, let me stop my share real quick. Let me make sure that, I always forget that I have to make sure that the sound. Okay, share. All right, so we'll go ahead and watch this little presentation video, and then we will conclude our research presentation. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you today virtually. My
Yeah, we
name
can hear
is
it.
Sophie Neems, and I am a second-year PhD student here at ASU in the School of Human Evolution and Social Change. I study cultural anthropology, and I also serve as the lab manager for the Culture, Health, and Environment Lab, which I'm here to talk a little bit about with you all today. So the Culture, Health, and Environment Lab, or the CHElab for short, is run by 4 faculty members from the School of Human Evolution and Social Change. They include Alexandra Brewis, who is a biocultural/biological anthropologist, Amber Woodich, who's a cultural anthropologist, Cindy Streetheram, who's a linguistic anthropologist, and Alyssa Ruth, who is an educational anthropologist. And the 4 of them collaborate on a bunch of research projects, all to do with the topics of culture, health, and environment. A lot of the work that comes out of their lab is related to water insecurity and how people in Arizona and across the world manage when there's not enough water and in situations of water scarcity. So the lab is also, so it's kind of a big production. We've got the 4 faculty who work on it. There's also a team of research scientists, postdocs, graduate students, and then undergrads. So a big piece of the lab is training undergraduate students in social science research methods, specifically rigorous and cutting-edge ethnographic research methods. And that's an opportunity for any of you all who are interested to get involved. So let me tell you a little bit about what the students are working on this semester. There is a project also working with how people are managing water scarcity, and oftentimes what the research that's come out of the lab and others have found is that individuals engage in water sharing. So if you don't have water from the city or something that come out of your taps. You might have to purchase water. Well, what happens when there isn't water to purchase, or the water you've supposedly purchased doesn't show up, and you're left without the water that you need for basic tasks? Well, drinking, first of all, but also cooking, cleaning, and other really essential daily tasks. And what they find is that oftentimes people engage in water sharing. So they will share water with their neighbors, or ask their neighbors for water, their family, their friends, others in their community. And the project is trying to understand what emotions might be felt by people in that in those situations. Like, do people feel good when they share water with others? Do they feel shame when they accept water, or vice versa, or some whole different set of emotions? So that's what the project is trying to understand. And they interviewed folks in 7 different countries across the world, and have these transcripts, or so they took audio recordings of the interviews and then put them into text. And this semester's students, interns in the CHElab, are helping to analyze that data through a process called coding, which is, in short, it's basically like color coding the data based on different themes that are identified in it. And so the students are getting to think about, like, what are the themes that we're noticing in this text, and how are we going to assign them to different segments of text in the transcripts. And then eventually the faculty members, the principal investigators or PIs, will do the data analysis based on this really crucial work that the students, the CHElab interns, undergrad interns, are helping us with this semester. So that's just one example of the kind of work that students can participate in when they join the lab. So if you're interested in joining, what you would need to do first is every student who joins the lab is first required to go through and pass a training program called the Social Science Research Training, and that's run as an I course Session A, and it will be offered in fall 2025. The course number is ASB 455, and it's taught by Dr. Alyssa Ruth. So if you're interested in getting involved in the lab, the first step would be to sign up for that class. Once you successfully complete that class, then you would be eligible to apply to work in the lab as an intern. And that's something that students can do for credit, anywhere from 1 to 3 credit hours you can choose, if you successfully pass the training and then are accepted as an intern to participate in further support of the lab. So that's a little bit about my work with the CHElab and how students can get involved and get some really awesome training in qualitative data analysis and research processes. I also wanted to just say a few words about the work that I do on my own research project. So as a cultural anthropology PhD student, I'm interested in studying Iowa land ownership and agriculture and food systems, that kind of thing. And my research, so the way the PhD program works is that you do, like, if you don't have a master's when you come in, you do a master's in passing portion of the degree. So you earn a master's on your way to the PhD. So I'm in that master's phase right now. And I conducted interviews last summer with about 45 Iowa landowners about their decisions to protect their properties using what's called a conservation easement, which is like a contract basically that landowners can sign that says that their land can only be used for XYZ purposes forever and ever into the future. And people often use those to protect land from development, but they can also be used to protect land for agriculture, as we see a lot of land getting eaten up by development. People are choosing to protect land, saying we need to make sure we have some farmland to produce food on. So I'm interested in why a farmer would choose to put that on their property. It decreases the value of the land because they're basically giving up development rights, and it also limits the things they can do on their own land. So I think it's curious, and I'm interested in understanding why people are motivated to do that. And yeah, that's a little bit about my research and what I'm interested in. And I think I'll go ahead and close my little presentation now, but if anyone's interested in learning more about the lab or more about my project, my personal research project, or anything related to PhDs in cultural anthropology, I'd welcome you to reach out. Again, my name is Sophie Neems, and my email is S and then my last name, neems@asu.edu. And I wish you all the best of luck in your research and future endeavors. Thanks for having me.
Right. Perfect. That actually all sounds super, super interesting. Like, is kind of glad to know that there's other research opportunities for our students. And with that, those are all the research opportunity presentations that we do have for today. I would like to thank Dr. Austin for being with us, as well for talking about ours. I would like to thank Susan and Abby for also helping talk about SOLUR. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're gonna take a little, like, 10-minute break. And then if anyone is interested in learning on how to write an abstract or learning how to develop a research project, feel free to stay around. We'll go ahead in like 10 minutes, get those breakout rooms situated. If not, that concludes today's presentation and event for our Research Expo. Please make sure to join us again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Arizona time, as we will be highlighting some of the research that our members have conducted over the years. It's going to be really exciting because then you get to see kind of what everybody is interested, what type of research is actually happening with online students at ASU. And that will also be posted on our YouTube. Everything from today and tomorrow will be posted, so that way we can share it with future members and those interested in research. So I thank you all for coming today. I'm going to now stop the recording.